Sure. A long time ago, probably 10 years ago, I took an old master's class from a lady named Evelyn Raper. She lives in Orange. And we went down to the National Gallery and we all chose a painting that we would like to copy. And this one is by Gentilici.
It's beautiful.
And I love the painting always, so it was kind of nice since I would like to have the paintings that are hanging on the wall there, and they won't let me. I decided to do the next best thing and paint my own.
You are a very talented woman. I'm amazed that this picture is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this painting, does it have special meaning for you?
Oh, it does. About the time that right after 9/11 and our troops started going into Afghanistan, and I understood the Sharia law and what these women had to go through just to read a book. And I saw an image similar to this, and I decided that I would like to paint it because when I see someone overcoming their fear enough to be able to sit down and take off their burqa and read a book, I think she's a very brave young lady.
Definitely. And I like the expression in her eyes, how you just captured that expression. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Carolyn, this is a beautiful picture. Is this the cosmos flower you were talking about?
It is. I do have a story behind this. This I'm using for the cover of my book, Opening to the Fullness of Spirit. My cousin and I decided to take a tour of Swannanoa, the home of Walter and Leo Russell, years ago. And as we were walking down the step from the garden, behind it with beautiful gardens all planted nicely, and here's this one little flower growing between a rock and a hard place, overcoming adversity and opening to the fullness of spirit.
Tell us the name of your book again.
The name of my book is Opening to Fullness of Spirit, a personal search for truth.
And is there a little story about the publisher with this book?
Yes. Yes, it's an interesting story. I have a friend, Patty, who studied under Dolores Cannon. And after Patty read my book, she said that she would take it down to Arkansas and give it to them to check over to see if they might be interested in publishing it. And a few weeks later, Dolores Cannon passed away. And so I kind of forgot about it. I thought that was the end of that. It was a good try, but you know, I didn't expect anything to come from it. Until September, I was on my way to a cousin's wedding in Tennessee, and I stopped to visit some other cousins in southwestern Virginia. And I opened my email, and there it was. If you have not already signed with a publisher, we would like to offer you a contract. Ozark Mountain Publishers.
Wow.
And it was my birthday.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a very nice surprise for your birthday.
The very best. The very best.
So, Carolyn, what is your hope for this book? What do you see its future?
My biggest hope is that it will be worthwhile to Ozark Mountain Publishers to have invested in me. I am humbled by the fact that they are, and I want them to receive a benefit for it.
And for the people that read the book, what is your hope for them?
I am hoping that they will open to the fullness of spirit as I did way back when, and go with it, understand that it is not evil. It is good. The messages that I have received have been wondrous over the years, and it has changed my life for the good. I think now back, if I hadn't picked up that pen and decided that I should try it before I prove Ruth Montgomery a liar, and if I hadn't done that, my life would have been totally different. This changed my life completely, and it was for the good. And I hope that reading this will give other people confidence to try the same sort of thing, not be afraid of it, and that it will enlighten, and they will find truth, as I did.
Well, in your book, is there any particular story that gives spiritual wisdom or spiritual knowledge?
Well, there are two things. One was something on pruning, and I can't remember the exact words, but it is something like this. Spring is here, and it's time for pruning. Pruning is painful. Pruning can be done deliberately, cutting off the old unnecessary parts of your life, and sometimes pruning happens in spite of all you want, and it hurts. It hurts deeply. But in order to reach your full potential, just as the trees do, pruning is necessary.
That's true.
And when you think of some of the things that have been taken from you, and you think, what a horrible thing, and I'll miss it, think about it as being pruning, because it will bring out something better in you.
That's a beautiful analogy. Beautiful. I keep coming back to the bluebirds.
Oh, yes.
How are the bluebirds important for you, or what's their message for you?
A long time ago, I loved bluebirds out on the farm, and I hadn't seen one. When I lived in Maryland, I hadn't seen a bluebird in ages. And the writing began, bluebirds, bluebirds, bluebirds will lead you. Stonehouse, bluebirds will lead you. Made no sense. None whatsoever. Until we started looking at property, and we came out here to look, and lo and behold, a bluebird flew right in front of the car.
Wow.
Straight over to there was an oak tree, big oak tree on the property, straight over to the oak tree. And my husband and I said, I think this is the place.
That's a little sign for you.
That was the sign. And at the time I thought I was going to build a stone house, and everything fell through. The stonemason had quadruple bypass surgery.
Oh my goodness.
So we had a change of plan, and everything I looked at. So we were going to go with brick. Brick is nice, but it wasn't what was promised me, so I was kind of aggravated with my writers. and then some other stone masons came over, and they brought stone, and it didn't look natural to me. I like the natural look. And so I decided to call my first stonemason and check to see what it was his source, where he got his stone that I like so much. And when I called, he said, Mrs. Daly, wait just a second. And then he came back to the phone. He said, I just got back from the doctor's office, and I hadn't told my wife yet, but the doctor gave me permission to go back to work.
Oh,
and
perfect.
so here's my stone house in spite of it all.
You know, just when you think your plans are not going to come to fruition, there it comes.
It does. Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about your book?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it in print, and I do hope that it's successful enough to bring a good profit to the investment that Ozark Mountain Publishers invested in me. That's my hope.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. We've enjoyed this so much, and
I have too.
I keep looking at the picture, and here's this little flower that's, yes, we can do it.
Yes, we can.
Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you for listening and learning more about Carolyn Greer Daly and her book. And we thank you for joining us today, and we'll be in touch.